So YouTube, real quick, a quick video I want to show you all something that is very cool is of course having guns. They're so cool, they're so awesome. I love them. Love them. I love them. But something that is a little bit more importantly, we talk about gun safety. Trigger is your finger is your number one gun safety that you're always going to have. Uh, but something more importantly, whether you have kids or not, I have two daughters, I have a wife, I have nieces and nephews that come over my house a lot, and just in general, you don't want bad people, or it ain't always about keeping the bad people out. You got good people in your life who don't mean you no harm that can get a hold of one of these and do serious damage, not even knowing what they're doing, aka your kids. Uh, so number one thing you always want to do when you have guns is you want to have a lot of different ways, or at least for sure ways of keeping your gun safety. I mean, keeping your gun safe. So besides keeping them in the holster, keeping your finger off the trigger, not pointing your gun in a direction or pointing your gun at anything that you don't intend to kill, steal, or destroy, is a gun safe. Now I got other gun safes. I got a bigger gun safe. I'm not going to show you that. I got to keep some type of privacy, people. But showing you one of the ways that I keep my guns locked up. And this is a cheap little gun safe off Amazon. Now this is about $50 with shipping on hand and all that good stuff. Now the truth about having a gun safe is there's people that rob banks. There's people. I'm pretty sure if you give somebody time enough, a criminal, time enough, I'm pretty sure they can probably break into Fort Knox. Okay, uh, but um, a way to deter bad people, or even like I said, people that don't intend to do nothing, do you no harm. The best way to deteriorate people from getting a hold of something that can alter a lot of people's lives is a gun safe. Like I said, it's like $40 off Amazon. It comes with like a little key. It comes with a pad. I mean, a code, and also a way to you can put your fingerprint in there. Now I didn't hook the battery up to it because I tried it and it was all acting all wacky. I'm old school. I'd rather have a key to my gun safe. That's how my other gun safe is. So you just put the key in right here and pop it, and it opens. Now, if I was in a self-defense situation, whatever have you, okay, all that good stuff. This can hold up to two guns. I'm pretty sure I can probably get, put some money here, currency, all that good stuff. Um, but this is a good way to keep your guns locked up. So if I'm not at home and I don't feel like putting my duty gun, or one of my off duty guns, if I don't feel like putting them up in the big safe, which like I said, the big safe is not hard to put in there, or if I don't have room or whatever it is, I can easily put this away, put it in here, and lock it up. Usually when I'm away from home, whether if I'm going across the street or whatever, and I don't want nobody to get into my guns, which I don't at all, I put them on, lock them up. So, like I said, this is $50. It takes you no time to get out the the package, hook it up or whatever. It's pretty self-explanatory of how to use it, and your guns is secure. Now, like I said, with time and determination, TND, time and determination, a criminal or a bad guy can literally it can honestly take this. Now, there's a way for you, it's a little cable you can wrap it around or whatever to, if you want to, you can actually put this in your car. So let's say you're going to a water park, or you're going somewhere, you're a civilian, regular civilian, and you're going somewhere where, guns are not allowed or whatever, what have you. That's all fine and dandy. You're able to lock this up, put this, around one of the chairs in your vehicle, and you're able to have your gun secure in your vehicle. Um, Nowadays you got glove boxes and all that good stuff, but like I said, with time and determination, if somebody steal your car, they have your gun, right? So like I said, in your home, it's the same thing. I'm pretty sure, I believe you can fly with this also, if I'm not mistaken. Um, there are states out here like Illinois, New York, or whatever have you. Different every state. There's a lot of states now where they actually have laws where if your gun is not on your person or in use, or in your use, and it's registered to you, you're supposed to actually have it locked up. Even if you're in a state that has amazing gun laws, I would still recommend you lock your guns up properly. I'm not a Bears fan at all, but being born and raised in Chicago, I remember Tank Johnson. That was his number one thing. I remember he came out with like a little short documentary on, YouTube, and he was explaining. He said my problem was not me, but he was saying that his problem was that he, for the longest, he was from, a kid from Arizona. He wasn't used to gun laws or knowing to secure your guns and all that good stuff. So he said, like, I still own guns. I'm still into guns. He said, but I learned to keep them locked up inside of a room that's also locked. So yeah, before you learn a hard lesson, which, like I said, when I first got into guns, that was the first thing I went and bought. I went and bought a tote, and had a big old tote, and I was able to lock my guns up. We all in the gun community, we all like having easy access to our firearms, which is very understandable. But if you're in a situation like I am, I have two small daughters. One is 4 years old. One is 1 years old. I have, like I said, nieces and nephews that comes over, friends and family that comes over. I don't want somebody. I don't want my gun getting into the wrong hands or getting into the hands of somebody who don't know, how to properly use these tools. So like I said, the number one thing, my channel, I try to, inform people. I try to post cool stuff, informative stuff. So this is my number one thing, gun safety. This is the number one thing. We can talk all day about, trigger safety, keeping your, finger off the trigger till you're ready to shoot, pointing in the safe direction, all those good things. Those things are amazing. Those are great tools. Those are great knowledge points to have when you're talking about firearms. But the number one thing that is going to almost supersede all of those things when they're not in your hands, like this gun is not in my hand no more. So yeah, if I can tell this gun to me, I can sit here for the next 12 hours and tell this gun, hey, get up and go shoot, go do this, do that. Very true. It's not going to hurt nobody. It's not going to do nothing. It's not going to move. Um, but if it gets in the wrong hands, let's say if your child is, picks it up and they're just trying to play with it and not knowing that this is a tool for mass destruction or can cause mass destruction, boom, they can hurt themselves or hurt somebody else. So in all seriousness, I want you all to understand this. Like I said, we can talk cool guns and cool stuff all day, but the number one thing that is cooler than all that is being mature and being adult with your firearms. Being, especially for all my younger people out there, even older people that's been in the game way longer than I have. Please make sure your guns are properly secured. There, as we see, there's too many situations going on where people are getting a hold of these weapons and doing bad things with them. So please, people, once again, get your safe. These things are cheap. You can get the bigger safe. I've done it. Go to freaking Harbor Freight. People talk stuff about, oh, it ain't this. If, somebody can still break into it. Very true. You got people that got Liberty safes, this safe, that safe, with time and determination. Anybody can. You can have all these, alarms on your vehicle. You have alarms on your house, and people can still break in and do harm. Same thing with, like I said, gun safes. Yes, with time and determination, somebody can easily break into this, take this, get that. But about time they get that and do all the stuff, it's a deterrent. Okay, so like I said, gun safety, gun safety, gun safety. It starts with getting yourself a decent gun safe. Like I said, you can go to Harbor Freight, get you a decent stand-up gun safe that holds however many guns. Get you a couple of those or whatnot. But like I said, just make sure you spend all these money. The money you're going to spend with buying a new gun, why not go buy something that can keep this gun, keep your beautiful gun from getting stolen or getting in the wrong hands? Okay, that's how I look at it. So thanks for watching. God bless. Stay safe. Stay dangerous.